Our topic is about the issue of child soldiers in this modern day. Simply defined, child soldiers are children who are abducted and forced to participate in military action. While some children are outright abducted from their homes, others are coerced into joining because their families lived in such poverty. Some children were vulnerable to being coerced. According to the statistics of UNICEF, almost 100,000 children have been forced into becoming soldiers in the past 15 years alone. Mostly, child soldiers are seen in countries like Syria, Yemen, Somalia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. However, at least 14 countries actively participated in the usage of child soldiers. Children are young and easily manipulated, so it's very easy for armies to force children into working for them. They don't ever have a say in what happens to them and get no pay. One thing we learned that we didn't know before was that they didn't just serve as soldiers. Some of the children were cooks, messengers, spies, and more. Many children were raped by their superior officers. They were too often forced to assist or participate in execution or be human shields to protect and torture adult soldiers. They were treated like as if they were worth nothing.
Child soldiering has at least 6 infractions in the UN mandated international humanitarian law. This makes it completely and utterly illegal. Thus, intergovernmental organizations like UNICEF are obligated to respond in any way possible. UNICEF leads recovery projects for children and also leads rescue expeditions when possible. NGOs that are focused on saving slaves or children also contribute to this cause. As individuals, there's not much we can do to stop the tide of child soldiers. However, what little we can do is still priceless. We can raise awareness to those unaware to spur others into action as well. Through social media platforms, we can also share our hatred for child soldiering practices. For the more passionate, we can also get involved with NGOs that will work to save the slaves. Alternatively, we can also get involved in or start a peaceful protest that brings the issue to the eyes of the government. This could be especially useful in the United States, since they are still often seen as the world police.
Comparing child soldiers to the slavery in the 16th to 1800s, we can tell that both forms of slavery took away the rights of slaves. The African slaves before were separated from their families, and so were the child soldiers. Both types of slaves received little to no pay and extremely little food and water, and they were both recruited through methods such as abduction or coercion. However, they have many differences. Before, slavery was completely legal, but now child soldiering is illegal. But it still happens. Child soldiering only focuses on children, like the name tells us. But slavery before employed both women, men, and children. Also, child soldiers are mostly used for military and violent purposes, while slaves before were mostly used to work in plantations or factories. Slavery during the transatlantic trade was mostly focused in the Americas, but child soldiers are focused in an entire different region. Most child soldiers are located in Middle Eastern and African area. Slavery is a major worldwide issue. Women, men, and children get their lives ruined because of it. Even though there's not much we can do, what little we can make is a difference.